I've spoken to you about Sharing Concept by Corel, but a lot of you have been asking about the other fragrances in the brand. So I have the Discovery set here. So let's smell through these. So Invisible Desire was, I think, the fragrance that a lot of people were the most curious about. And this is a perfume that plays around with a lot of gourmand notes, particularly the red fruits in the opening, as well as the raspberry and florals in the mid, and then the woody notes, vanilla, amber, and musk in the dry down. I will say that when this fragrance opens, you definitely get a lot of sweetness. You get a lot of sweetness from the red fruits. So it almost kind of gives like a shampooey red fruit sensation. But the dry down is where you start getting a lot of those beautiful, more subtle notes like the florals, the saffron, the raspberry. And I do think that this fragrance is my favorite in the dry down specifically. Moving on to Dalma, this is a nuttier, more gourmand leaning fragrance. It's a lot less sweet than the previous one I talked about. Let's get into the notes. So when I first smelled this, I kind of wrote it off as a bit of like just a basic pistachio, but I actually have had a chance to work with it a little bit more, and I do like it. I get where the electronic notes here are coming from, and this is a perfume that actually does have like some of that spiciness with the cinnamon, which I think adds a welcome bit of diversity to the otherwise like really creamy pistachio fragrance. This is a pistachio dominant perfume. It does dry down into like more of the electronic notes, into more of the vanilla. It doesn't lean as sweet as the other one I just spoke to you about, which was Invisible Desire. I actually really do like this one. But my absolute favorite, the one that I do happen to have a full bottle of, is Sharing Concept. So let's get into the notes. This is a pretty complex scent pyramid, as you can probably tell. I do think it's a really photorealistic grapefruit citrus fragrance. I don't get as much of the wine in this one, but if you look at the dent, I've been using this fragrance a lot. And keep in mind, I actually got this a few days ago. So this is a brand from Poland. So this brand is actually from Poland, and I do think they have a really promising set of fragrances. I love the bottle design, by the way. I think this is a very intriguing and very pop blue, which I think is really beautiful. And they also kind of run the same theme throughout their entire collection, which is quite nice. But I really do love Sharing Concept. Sharing Concept is by far, I would say, my favorite out of all of them. I do think that it is a beautiful fragrance. I'm really happy I got the full bottle.